Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I'm with you because I have been tagged several times for the 10 crafty questions. So what I thought I would do is I would come on today. I'm just going to make a card while I speak, just so that you've got something to watch. Yeah, so I've got a few bits of paper here, so I am going to cut a few of these sentiments and stuff, so I do need a trimmer, which is here. So I will get started. So the first question is, what is your name? So my name is Dawn Ditchburn. And my maiden name was Shears. So yeah, I have been married to my husband for 17 years, so that has been my name for 17 years. Yeah, there's not really much to say about a name, is there? I don't want to get that wrong. The second question is, where did your YouTube name come from? So my YouTube name came from, well, it was a few years ago now. So I was looking at maybe teaching. This is before I became quite unwell. How to, like, jewellery making classes. So that I could show people how to use findings and really, like, the very basics, so that they could do it themselves. So and at the time, my name was Beads of Sparkling, and it just, I don't know, I just never liked it. It wasn't sort of a name that it sort of sat nice with me. My sister-in-law and myself, we both sort of sat and brainstormed, and we sort of discussed between ourselves, you know, what is it that I want the name to say. And I was like, well, the thing is, you know, all my craft stuff's my treasures. It's what I treasure most out of all my possessions. So she said, why don't we add treasures in? So I thought, oh, I like that idea, we'll have treasures in. And then I went, but it's all my shiny treasures, because at the time I was mainly doing silversmithing, and I was mainly doing jewellery making. So that's where the shiny came in, and the silver is because I love anything silver. So that's how my name came about. So I've had it quite a while, and I know when I signed up to YouTube, it just sort of stayed. So I didn't really, I didn't change it, and it just stayed, and I didn't expect to sort of come this far on my channel. So I did look a few months ago, well, actually it wasn't a few months ago, it was a few weeks ago, at changing my name to maybe reflect all of my different crafts, because I don't just do the jewellery making anymore. I do the polymer clay, I do resin, I do knitting, I do crocheting, I do wire work, I do paper crafts, I do mixed media. There's so much now that I do, and I was thinking, you know, what could I change it to? And I just can't see me being called anything else. So it's a name that I really like, and it's a name that tells everyone these are my shiny treasures. So that's basically it, and it's because I love them. So there's no other reason than that, really. I needed a name, and that's what came up out of it. I hope that answered that question. Okay, so my favourite type of craft. So my favourite type of craft has to be silversmithing. I absolutely love it. I don't get a chance to do much of it these days, which is a bit of a shame. And it's not because I haven't got the tools or anything like that. It really is just down to being so tired all the time and having to get, because it involved soldering, so you have a blowtorch that you use, and mine's quite big. It's awesome. So it has to be done outside. Yeah, so I think the fact that the weather sort of changed. I do it when I go over to my friend's, because she has an amazing shed where it's got heat, it's got everything, and it is just absolutely fab. I want a shed like that. So she has to come and build me one. But yeah, so silversmithing is my absolute favourite. So number 4 is your favourite craft shop. So my favourite craft shop has to be my charity shop, which you're probably not expecting, but my charity shop is just amazing. And if you've seen any of my hauls recently, you will see why. You never know what you're going to come out with. Honestly, some of the buys and some of the stuff, this is going everywhere. Some of the stuff that they have and that you find, honestly, it's like a massive treasure, a treasure chest. I absolutely love it. So I always go on a Saturday, so you have to have a look around on a Saturday. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to say my local charity shop. I do go to the range. I'm obsessed with the Works. I love the Works. So I must put an order in with the Works every few months, although I've been quite good recently. I'm trying to do a no spend, except for the charity shop, because that's helping. So yeah, so I do go to other craft shops, but I would say the charity shop's probably the thing that's that I love the most, because I just never know what I'm going to get. It's awesome. I mean, they have like watercolour paints, they've got inks, they've got paper, craft kits from Create and Craft. They've just got so much stuff. So yeah, you just don't know what you're going to get. So that's my favourite shop. The next one is a horrible question, and I know that watching quite a lot of you guys doing your own Crafty 10 questions has made me know that this is a horrible question, and it is top 5 YouTube channels. Well, I don't have a top 5. I watch so many people, you know, and I show so much support. I mean, I don't even want to name a few, because I know that I'm going to miss people out. And I just don't want to do that, because everybody deserves credit. So I am going to chicken out on that one, and I am not going to say a thing, because I can't do it. I can't single out people. I watch a lot of people. So yeah, I just can't do it. Okay, so number 6, my favourite colour. So my favourite colour, and most of you will know this, is my favourite colour is dusky pink. Normally that's the colour of my nails, but I have just had my nails done. Actually, I've had them done today. And yeah, my nails are normally always dusky pink. So I don't like bright pink. I think bright pink's a bit too much, but I love dusky pink. I just think, I don't know, there's just something about it. I like my teals as well. So I never used to like teal. Yeah, so I don't know where all of a sudden that sort of love's come from. But yeah, I tend to get drawn towards teals as well now. But yeah, I just wanted something a little bit different for my holiday, so that's what I've come up with. Okay, next one is my favourite craft tool. Well, I have a few. So the first tool I'm going to say has to be my blowtorch. I love soldering my precious metals together. I think it's amazing. I absolutely love, it's just fab. You know, you've got a crucial point where the solder melts, or the whole thing melts, and you've got to, I can't explain it. You've got to take that heat away right before your project sort of melts. So it's, yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I'd say my blowtorch and probably my hammer as well, my jewellery hammer, because I love creating texture. So I love doing hammered effect on my jewellery pieces. So yeah, so I would say those two. I also love my stamping platform. I don't know where I would be without it, because it is amazing. It's probably one of the best buys. I used to have a cheaper one, and then I did invest in the Tim Holtz one, and it's the best thing I could have done. So that is one of my favourite tools. And my Gemini, oh my goodness, that has taken all the pressure out of my arms. You literally just feed it in and it does all the work for you. So I would say those are probably my favourite tools. Do I have any others? My fussy cutting scissors. So I have a pair of Tim Holtz ones. These are not them. I cannot find them again. So what I'm going to do is buy myself another pair and chain them to my desk, I think, because they are the most amazing fussy cutting scissors I've ever bought. They're a bit weird at first because they've got like a serrated edge to them. So I wasn't expecting that, even though it said serrated. It just, I don't know what I was expecting. I just kind of read it properly. So when I first started cutting out, I just thought they were strange. But you know, like I can get right into all the little bits and pieces and really go for it. And they're so comfortable. They don't hurt my hands. Yeah, they're just fab. These ones I bought because I couldn't find my Tim Holtz ones. They're not very comfortable. They're good at cutting. They are really nice fussy cutting scissors. But I would say if you've got problems with your hand and grip and strength in them, these actually I would say hurt your wrist more. And I've had a look to see if I can loosen them off, but you can't. There's no screw there to do like you do on dressmaking scissors, which is a bit of a shame, but they do feel quite, they feel too tight. So, but they'll do for now until I get myself some more Tim Holtz ones. So yeah, so they are my favourite tools. Okay, oh, I feel like I'm going on and on and on. I'm so sorry. Okay, next one is where does your love of crafting come from? Okay, so as a child, my nana used to knit me dolls. And when I did have this one doll I just absolutely fell in love with, and I named her Goldilocks because I did have 3 bears. And she was just amazing. I remember so well. I really wish I still had that doll, but I don't. Oh, she was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, I loved her. So I would say, and then my mum as well. My mum always sort of knitted as well. So she would knit jumpers and things for us, and other little bits. So I would say my mum, my mum was the one who taught me how to knit, and I did try. I did try back in the day, but I don't have much patience. I've got the patience now that I'm older, but back then I had no patience whatsoever. So I think that didn't help, but she did try and teach me. And then he just always had this, and my mum will tell you, she hated it. I had this thing about ripping paper up. So I was always cutting paper, and I never knew why, but I just had this thing about sitting there with some scissors and cutting up paper. I always went in the bin. I never made anything with it, but I just loved it. And then my mum every Christmas always bought me Crafty sets, so it's always been encouraged. It's always been sort of for me to do it. I like to bring out my creative side. And then I used to watch my dad rebuild his old cars as well. So he rebuilt a Woosley 8 from scratch. He just had the sort of the shell of it, and he had to rebuild the engine up, and watching my dad do that, I think as well, I would love to be able to put an engine together. I mean, that would just be fantastic. I would absolutely love it. So I'm thinking that it's probably from my parents and my nana. So yeah, but no, I'll always remember, sorry, my nana sitting knitting. She always knitted. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Okay, so the next question is number 9. When did you start crafting? So I've crafted all my life, but then I would say that I actually started properly crafting about 12, 13 years ago now, and it started off, so my obsession started off with actually just buying a jewellery making kit off eBay, and I think it was about £5. So it arrived, and I used my husband's pliers, which were absolutely rubbish. So how I made my first pair of earrings using these pliers, I will never know, but I did. And yeah, I made these earrings, and I just could not believe I'd made them. I was so chuffed with myself, so I bought the proper tools and then did it again. And then when I looked on eBay, somebody was selling their kit off, and I managed to win it for about £60, I think it was. And there was around 10 cases of beads and a couple of cases of findings, and yeah, my kit sort of grew from there, shall we say. And then I would say I got into silversmithing about 8 years ago, where I met my lovely friends who I meet up with on a Wednesday. And we have become very close friends, and you know, they are fantastic. I love them to bits, and they're just always there. So I started doing my silversmithing then, and that's continued. I then, about 4 or 5 years ago, I then looked at working with polymer clay, and started working more with that, and I love that. And then about maybe 2.5 years ago, I then started with the paper crafts, and that was through my polymer clay, because I used to make the books, but then I always wanted the books to be presented nice. So on the inside and of the covers, I wanted them to be so that they were pretty, and they weren't just the boring craft card or the grey chipboard colour. I just thought, I'm putting all of this work into the cover itself. It needs to be pretty. So yeah, so I think yeah, so that's how it's all came about. And then, I mean, when I started beading, I did want to start my YouTube channel then. I just never had the courage. I suppose I never believed in myself, and really, when you talk to a lot of people who craft, they never sort of believe in themselves, and they should. And one thing that I have learned from that is, you know, you need to believe that you've got the talent. You know, we all have different tastes, so yeah. And then I started making videos. Really nervous at first. My videos, when I've looked back, are absolutely shocking. Yeah, I was so chuffed with them, but the quality of them is terrible. But yeah, so that's how. I just want people to love crafting as much as I love crafting, which is why I want to share my crafty talents to the world, I suppose. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I'm thinking that there, and then I think we're nearly done. So the very last question is your favourite craft project. So I will have to get my phone for this because I can't find him. I put him, so I've got a feeling I have left him I've left him at my mum's, because he normally goes on a scarf. You'll see what I mean in a second. Oh, that's pretty. Do we need this? I don't think we do we? No. I might put that inside. So, what was I saying? Yeah, he goes on my scarf. So when I first started silversmithing, you had to do 3 projects first, and once we'd done those 3 projects, we could do whatever we wanted. Now, I love an artist called Banksy. I think his his artwork is just fabulous, and you know, it's basically promoting peace, but this particular piece is, so I'm just going to get it up. I've got it up. So this piece is the Banksy with the panda with guns. So here he is on my Instagram. So if anybody is on my Instagram, this was made back in 2013. So he is the panda with guns that Banksy did create, and I turned him into a brooch in silver, and he's amazing. I love him. He's so precious to me, and I don't think I'll ever top him. I think he's just amazing. So he's my most favourite piece. I would say, where is it? Up here. The first book that I ever created was this one. And when you look at my work now to this, you'll see it's changed completely. So this just has all the different books and things that I have created. So lots and lots of different ones. It does need updating. But this was my first ever clay book, and I fell in love with it. And as you can see, I mean, these are just, I didn't like it. It needed something. So I just felt like, and that's when paper crafting came in, because I just wanted them to change. So there's my book. And then my daughter got one. So yeah, so just a few bits and pieces. And that's the first one I ever sold. So really, really cool. Yeah. So I would say those are my treasured pieces. Those are the pieces that I've always kept. So I've always kept this. So I actually started clay. Have I got a date in here of when I started clay? Yeah, so I started my clay books back in 2017. So the very beginning of 2017. So yeah, really, really cool. So I think that's it. Just double check. Yeah, so that's all of my questions answered. So I hope you've got to know me just that little bit better. I know my card's not my usual type. I wasn't really paying any attention to what I was doing. So I am looking, I did have on my desk there some Nouveau drops, because I do think it needs a little bit more dimension. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Actually, something a little bit different. Yeah, so not something I would normally do. Yeah, so I think that's it actually. Yes, there we go, just those few little dots. Thank you so much for watching. I am going to tag a couple of people, and I'm sorry if you've already been tagged. I know that a lot of you ladies now have been tagged. So the 2 that I haven't seen, and I apologise if you already have done them and I've missed them. Let me know if you have done them so I can go and watch them, please. But I'd like to tag the lovely Alison from Crafty Ali Creates. I love her, and she's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I would really, really love to know a little bit more about her. And the other lady, she's very, very new to YouTube, so she's only just started uploading videos. So if you go over, I mean, I'll leave a link to both the ladies' channels, so if you could go over and subscribe to her, that would be awesome. And it is the lovely Laura from Scrudge Crafts. So she's just started YouTube, but she does lovely cards, and she shares them off. She does hauls and things, so she has done them. Her first video was actually our box swap, which was really, really nice. But I would like to also know a little more about Laura. So yeah, so those are the two ladies that I am tagging. I can't think of any other ladies. That I think all of the lovely ladies have actually have already been tagged. Yeah. So I do apologise if I have missed anyone. Sorry this is long. I've just looked at the time. It's like 25 minutes. Oops. So sorry this is really long. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And if not, I will see you in my next video. Until then, happy crafting. Bye.